Alright, Dad, what is this other pride and joy that we have?
So this is 1928 Ford Model A two-door sedan, and that's TUDOR. It's 100% Henry Ford steel. Had it for quite a few years. Had a 1930 before this one. And here in this driveway, I sold it. I advertised it, didn't think I was going to sell it. And then a guy came from a long distance and said, I'll take it. And I was like, really? So, anyways, made the deal, sold the car. Pretty much regretted it. And then so I went out and I looked and looked high and low for a car similar to that one, and I found this 28.
Right. Where did you find this one?
So down in Georgia. So it was a little bit of a trip. My brother and I drove to Georgia to look at it. We drove there, looked at it, and drove back. A couple little breaks and rest areas, but we didn't sleep overnight, so it was quite a trip. But I mean, as soon as in all the pictures, when I saw it, I'm like, man, I really want it. But I had to go see it in person. And once I saw it in person, I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what, this is the car. So we made the deal, came back, and then I had it shipped up from Georgia to here. And it had quite a few issues when I got it. This one had very bad gas in it. It had a carburetor that wasn't worth going after. It had a lot of leaks here and there. So mechanically, it needed a lot of work.
Now that's the gas filler down there?
Yeah, so it has two tanks. It has one on each side. They each hold about a little more than 5 gallons of fuel. And there's a switch inside that you can switch from the right tank to the left tank.
Yep.
One of the nice things about the car is it's got some conveniences. It has air conditioning and has heat. So it doesn't matter, as long as the roads are good, it doesn't matter what time of year you want to take it out. The hottest of hot days, I'll take this thing out. It'll be nice and cool inside there. Or the coolest cool days, I can still take it out, and I have heat. As you can see, there's no door handles.
Yep.
It's shaved, so normally it would be a door handle right here on the outside, and there would be hinges. It's totally been customized, of course. Like I said, it is all Henry Ford steel.
Yeah. Even
other than the 2 rear fenders and this panel across the back. Those are fiberglass.
Yep.
But other than that, the whole car is Henry Ford steel.
Is it the original color?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that all these were black. So
Yeah.
If you'd asked me, 10 years ago, you're gonna buy a green car, I would have said, no. Green's not my color. It was my mom's color. It's not my color. But both hot rods, both sedans, both were green. It's actually Thetinkings paint, and in the clear, there's some gold. There's a gold tint in the clear. It's Thetinkings. It's called medium green, is what it's called.
Now this stripe on it.
Hand done.
Hand painted.
Hand painted pinstripe. As you can see, when you get to the 28 here, you can see not quite perfect. And then they did a nice job right here, and they wrote 28, which is nice.
Nice. And it wraps all the way around.
All the way around. I know a guy that's really good at pinstriping by hand, and I thought of maybe doing something on the hood or up front here, but then I didn't want it to be too much. So, the years have gone by, and I still have done nothing to it as far as that goes.
Nice. You want to take a look at the engine?
Certainly, yeah. One cool thing is, like I said before, it's shaved, no door handles, no nothing, so everything's done by remote. So if you want to open or close a window, that's how you do it with the remote. If you want to open the door, you just press the button, and
that's pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah. So under the hood, It's a Ford 302. So it's actually, the car is pretty much Ford through and through. So it's a...
Right, because most guys, the hot rod thing, they put a Chevy engine in a Ford, right?
A Chevy, a Pontiac, a Chrysler. It could be anything that they would put in there. And that's really how hot rodding began, right? That's how it all began. Whatever you could find in the backyard, that's what you would put in there. Once, these cars came with 4 cylinders,
Yeah.
So whatever you could tear out and stick in there, that's how hot rodding
But
came.
this is a Ford?
This is a Ford. It's a Ford 302. Now, there was also the flathead V8 too, later on in life. So a lot of guys use Chevy power, but this is a Ford 302 out of a Mustang. It's an late 60s Mustang, and then it has a C4 automatic and has a 48-inch rear end. So it's all Ford.
Nice.
Incidentally, the other hot rod I had too, that was all Ford too.
Ford and a Ford?
Yep.
Nice. Yep. Now, it was all chromed out when we got it, right?
Yeah, so the only thing I really did under the hood is I replaced the carburetor with a nice new Holly, and then I put the fuel gauge over there for fuel pressure. I did a couple things, like a starter. I replaced the thermostat in it. A couple small little things to the engine. The transmission had a leak. The rear end had a leak. And then I had to clean the fuel system. But basically mechanical stuff. I went around and I changed all the bushings in the 4 links in the front and the rear because they were worn out. So, their bushings were all just kind of like dry rotted and loose and whatnot. So all the bushings were changed. I did a front end alignment on it. And, the thing runs and rides down the road. You can just cruise 60, 70 miles an hour down the highway, one hand on the wheel. It's a great cruiser. It really is. It's got a very nice interior, even though it was done many, many years ago. It is very nice.
Yeah.
It's got a cassette player in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of old, it's nostalgic. So I left it. Obviously, I have a Bluetooth speaker, so when I listen to music, I just use my Bluetooth speaker. But I just kept that in there for the look of it.
Yeah.
But these are your controls for your air conditioning and your heat.
Yeah.
And then it has digital gauges, which I'm not in love with, but it's been in there for years. I don't know if I'd ever change it, but I think you could put some mechanical gauges. I think that would do it justice.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the only things I would change. It's got a really nice steering wheel. It's all brushed aluminum, billet aluminum wheel. Very, very, very nice. It's got power brakes, and when you step on them brakes, this thing will stop on a dime. It's fairly comfortable to drive. Lots of room, lots of leg room in it. And
Back seat?
Yeah, there's back seat. I don't know if anyone's ever actually sat back there since I've had it. No one has. I don't know if anyone has before, but I suppose you could, weasel back there if you really wanted to.
Yeah. And then pretty cool shifter.
Very cool. It's got a piston.
Yep.
It's got a piston for a shifter, which is very, very cool.
Yep.
One of the things that I think about when I get in this car, it's a 1928. Someone bought this car in 1928, paid about $450 for it, and it survived. It probably wound up in a field at some point before it was redone. I don't know the whole history of the car, but someone purchased this thing brand new and had it for years. And the car's nearly, it's 96 years old. It's nearly 100 years old. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
It's that it survived, and from here on out it will always survive. It's never gonna.
Hopefully.
Well, it's never gonna go to a junkyard.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully.
It's never. No matter what happens to it, it'll probably never go to a junkyard.
Chrome too, right? The wheels are chrome. A lot of the suspension in there is chrome.
Yep. a lot of the underside looks just as pretty as the top side. So everything is done now. It's the chrome needs a bit of polishing because we're at the end of the cruising season, and we put some miles on her, so I can bring it to work and put her up on the lift. See, it's got full dual exhaust all the way from front to back.
Yeah.
And then you can get a good view. The battery is right there beside the exhaust system, along with the fuel tanks.
Yeah.
One on each side, and then that's the power brake unit over there on the left-hand side.
Okay. Nice.
Coil over rear suspension.
Yep. And it sounds pretty good too.
Yeah, let's fire it up.
Yeah. Now what's the with the Mach 1, we got to pump the gas 3 times.
Yeah,
right?
So this one here, about the same.
Yeah.
It sets the choke real easy. It starts well.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's got a nice little rumble to it. It's not too bad when you're going down the road. You can still have a nice conversation, but she's got a nice little tone out the exhaust pipes.
Yep.
So it also has aliens as for the caps right here, which are pretty cool. Because the body of the car, it's kind of like a wedge of cheese.
Yeah.
And so as the air comes by, it catches this post and
It just
pulls it right in.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit windy. They also sometimes they have little like
Right, the little side.
yeah plexiglass deflectors. The car is low, but like I can go through these bumps on our driveway with no problem. Like the rat rod's very, very low, but I mean, I haven't like really bottomed out anywhere with this,
Well, the suspension is nice and tight because nothing's rattling.
It was a little squirrely when I first got it because all those bushings, and it was, it's a 4-link
Right.
in the front and rear, and then it's got like a panhard bar, and all those bushings, they were all very, very loose.
Yeah.
Because over time, the car had sat for so long, the bushings just kind of deteriorated. Then once I started driving it, they were just like breaking apart. So everything was like very, very loose.
Like the more you drove it, the worse the suspension got.
Well, it kind of like you'd go down the road and you would just kind of be all wishy-washy. And we were actually at a car show, and I went over a couple of bumps, and I heard a clunk, and I'm like, I never heard that before. And so I really started taking a good look around. I'm like, wow, need to change these bushings in here. But they were readily available.
Yeah.
Different sizes, front to rear, so they're just a little tricky getting the right ones, but you can get them all,
Yeah. See, a lot taller of a windscreen than I remember the other one you had.
Yeah, so the other one, the chop was I think another inch or two more than this one.
Yeah, because I remember in that one I had to do this number.
And when you step on the brakes, you hear that little tick, 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 that little ticking noise. That's because it's got drilled front rotors.
Okay.
For cooling. I can just get in this car, and we've been all over with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been on some long trips with it. All the way down, to the Cape and whatnot, and back, and it's extremely reliable. You can get up on the highway, do 65, 70.
No trouble.
No.
Same reliability that you would get from a brand new car, but in an old car.
I mean, I do avoid highways.
Yeah. Well, highways just aren't enjoyable for anything.
But if you gotta jump up a couple exits or whatnot, no problem. Wouldn't it be cool if like the original guy that bought it, if he could see it today, unfortunately, the guy's probably not living anymore.
No.
But I mean, if you could see it today, you know.
Yeah, because I don't think there was many 16-year-olds in 1928 that would have had $400 to buy this fresh off the, you know.
And you know, $400 back then.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money back then. So this was a two-door sedan, meaning it had two doors. It was a sedan. They also made a delivery sedan. So there would have been a third door in the back.
Yeah.
And so if you wanted to deliver things, you would buy one of these. It'd be like your van, but it was a delivery van.
Yeah. And then the roof used to be a soft top, right?
Right. So, I mean, if you looked at any of these old cars of this era, it couldn't make sheet metal that big. So when it came to the roof, there was always a soft top in there, and they actually had strips of wood that held the soft top up there. In fact, these cars had plenty of wood in them.
Yeah.
Some of the floorboards were wood. I don't remember what years they changed, but there was, you know, wood inside in some of the areas of the car.
Yeah.
Where they would fasten to.
I mean, it does. I hate to say it, but it feels like it handles better and is more secure than the Mach 1.
It's not.
You know?
It isn't. I mean, it handles well. But if we got back in the Mach 1,
Yeah.
you know. The thing is with the Mach 1, and you know, we've got some winter things that we can do to that.
I think it's because you don't hear any rattling in here.
Yeah, there's no rattles. Yeah. The wheelbase is so short on these cars.
Yeah.
It almost has the feel of a Jeep.
Right.
You know, a Jeep CJ or something. A Renegade. You know, they have the short wheelbase.
Right. Wrangler.
Yeah, Wrangler. You know, those Jeeps. It kind of has that feel to it, where it almost just rotate right out of the center.
Yeah. Little video of these gauges.
Yeah, you know, it's the one thing that I don't know. It just, that to me, just really doesn't go with the car.
Yeah.
They make some real nice gauges for these cars.
I mean, I guess if they're trying to keep the alien thing, because I mean, but who knows who put the alien
well, the little aliens
alien heads on.
Yeah, so they were in a package in this car when I bought it, and they hadn't taken them out of
on yet?
Yeah, they hadn't been put on, and it just had little chrome caps. And so I was looking at them, and it said, you know, aliens. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know if they bought them because of the green eyes or what, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna put them on. I kind of like them.
Yeah, well, because that's, I mean, if you look at this dash, it looks. I can make the.
They were probably going for the futuristic.
Yeah, the futuristic vibe from the dash.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Get a lot of looks with it.
Yeah. It picks up nice too,
She's
right?
got a lot of power in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the car don't weigh nothing.
No.
You know. Nothing like, you know, a nice relaxing day, jump in this thing and go.
No, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, a little cruise.
It's comfortable.
Because, you know, Mom doesn't like to be uncomfortable.
Right.
So if it's hot out, she wants the air conditioning on.
Yeah.
You know, if it's cool out, she wants a little bit of heat. Now, the other hot rod I had no heat or AC.
I think I have a little bit of video of driving the other one. Yeah, that's them. Should.
Yeah, there's definitely video of that one driving around. Look at that garage.
Oh yeah.
That's what we need.
That's what we need.
That's what we need.
It's a full barn.
That's a beauty, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be awesome to have a garage like that.
Would be.
You know, what's funny is when I got this, you know, had trailed it up. I mean, when it ran in Georgia, but it didn't really run good, and I didn't take it down the road. I took it. I think I took it around that a little circle drive or something. Yeah. I didn't take it down the road or nothing. And it was running. It wasn't running good. The gas was just awful, and it was burning in there. It was just terrible. But when I got it here, first thing I did was fix the leaks. Replace the carburetor, this, that, and the other, and then we jumped in it and took it to a car show.
Oh really?
That was the first trip.
Yeah.
Jumped in it, drove it to Concord to the car show.
Okay.
Didn't know nothing about the car. Nothing.
Yeah. So as soon as you had it, you took it right out.
As soon as we had it, and as soon as I ordered the carburetor for it, and I fixed the leaks during the week. The first show of spring, and I literally got it done like in the nick of time.
Yeah.
For the show, and it was on a Saturday, and that was it. We jumped in it, drove it to the show, and I'm like, wow, this thing goes pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Been driving it ever since.
And there's not a lot of play in the steering wheel.
No, it's manual steering.
Oh, okay.
So there's no power steering.
Yeah.
But I mean, it steers very easy. There was some work I had to do, like the wheel bearings needed to be repacked. They were a little loose. The steering arms had loosened up over time, so there was a little bit of play in the steering. So I did fix that. You know, small things. Nothing too major. It has a really good look from the front.
Yeah.
You know, because it's very raked. You can see the roof, and it's got the visor on the front. It's got a real cool look to it. It's not like they're building any more of these.
No.
And to get a real steel car,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's rare.
Yes. Some days I think about selling it, and then I'm like, how much I regretted selling the first one.
This might only be like the second time I've taken this, or been in the car, been in this for a ride.
A ride? Yeah.
Yeah. The other one.
The other one was different inside too.
Yeah.
If you remember, the gas pedal was like
It was up on the.
yeah, up on the hump.
Yeah.
The dead middle. The other one was.
Okay. So she is back home safe and sound.
Yes.